Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill. Today we are going to take a look into the Mr. Nemesis, the new loot box tank, tier 8 British medium vehicle. And as you can see, the DPM of this tank is, oh ho ho, what a great DPM. Look at this. 420 alpha damage, skill 420, exactly, fellas. 420 DPM, or I supposed to say the alpha damage, right? 225 millimeters of the penetration, 1000 shell velocity, great. If you are loading go 280 millimeters of the penetration, that's okay. 1250 shell velocity, that looks good. The gun depression is also looking good, but look at this, you have a bloody watchtower on top of your turret, and this is a bit sad, fellas. This is a bit sad. Where the speed goes, I do not feel like the speed would be a humongous problem of this tank, at least now, whenever we were trying to move here. It did not felt slow, okay? It definitely did not felt slow. Ah, I remember. Okay, I remember. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this tank has a very, very weird feature. The gun depression depends on the angles, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a second. What I need to do. Skill from the future. Today, we are having new drops from the 4 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to claim them, feel free to tune in to pretty much any World of Tanks stream, or you can keep company for me. What you are going to get: 4 hours of the watch time, free experience reserves, crew experience reserves, camo, and some decals. It's my pleasure and honor to entertain you, and let's go straight into the video. Okay, so how the things are looking like. Up front, you have minus... your gun depression is like minus 10, but if you are moving to the sides, your gun depression swiftly changes, right? What that means your gun is just going up and there is nothing what you can do. So that adds a layer of the difficulty to play with this tank. Trust me, fellas, this is a bit annoying. And overall, speaking about the gameplay, since your DPM is so kaku, and believe me, the DPM is far away from being ideal with this tank, you need to play relatively safe. You need to be somewhere hold down, and you need to hope that enemy team won't be able to slap you in the face, right? This is what you need to hope for, right? Once again, turret very easily penetratable. This side is easy penetratable. If someone is shooting you here, it is penetratable. I think it is you are going to get ricochet to your a hole, and then you are going to get penetrated, if I'm not mistaken, right? So there is a lot of not so great things with this tank, but that's okay. No one is forced to buy it, and if it happened to be that you got this vehicle from the loot box as well, you are going to be okay. You're not forced to play with this. So look at this. We cannot even see the Liz before Liz can slap us into the turret, into the cupola, right? The gun is relatively low, so pretty much enemies, whenever we are peeking the hill, enemies are going to see all of this before I can even shoot them, right? Which isn't the finest thing and whatnot, but that's okay. What we need to do in this situation, we need to stay safe, and we just simply need to try to spot for our team. That's all we need for a full happiness, right? By the way, if you are wondering, skill, what do you think? What is your preliminary rating for this vehicle? It's going to be either 2 or either 1. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe not 1, because that would be too mean, but probably 2 is very, very legit option and fair option, right? At least this is how I look into all of this. Nemesis from behind, I can see him, and the gentleman won't enjoy this. Beautiful, very, very nice. Now Liz should make a bit of pressure like this, right? Okay, we have a Forest Spirit. Actually, what Forest Spirit? Progetto. And Liz is making pressure. It's okay. Ooh, and critical hits left, right, and center. Oh my bananas, fellas. Oh my bananas. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty, fellas. Oh ho 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 ho. Okay, not much what I can change about this. What we figured out from the very first game. It looks like this tank is made out of critical hits, but maybe that was a poor luck, who knows. Hard to say about the gun handling, but probably it's not the finest one. At least stats are showing that it is worse than Chimera. And it's not the best one, speaking about the gun handling, right? And overall, I did not felt like armor would do absolutely anything. Even though, if you would pay attention over there, right, where the armor goes, armor doesn't necessarily look that bad, especially whenever you are hold down, right? And to the certain extent, you can even side scrap. So, yeah, but overall, I think this is going to be a very, very, very difficult tank to play with. And I want to believe they will disappear from the matchmaking as soon as people will figure out that it's just simply not worth to play with this vehicle, that there is better tanks in the game, if you know what I mean. But that's okay. Once again, what we are doing the first impressions here. We are building our opinion. What do we think about this tank, or how do we feel about this vehicle? Things can still change. I need a couple of days to play with this tank. And I will know exactly how it looks like and how do I feel about this tank, right? Anyways, 1,100 damage, 2,000 assisting damage, that's all we got. We are second by experience, we are fifth by the damage. We made 57,000 profits as well. Okay. Let's keep it up. That's the first game. Okay, what do we have? Lakeville standard battle. In this situation, I will try to play a bit hold down in the 1-2 line. How about that? I want to test out how this tank feels like whenever we need to use the gun depression, okay? I'm quite curious and I'm a bit excited as well. Also, where the speed goes, I was expecting it to move more like heavy pace. I think the speed of this vehicle isn't that horrible as I initially thought it would be. I mean, it's not making tank epic by any shape or any form, but it definitely feels a bit better. Now, do I want to be aggressive over there? This is the question. Because more I think about it, more I do not want to be super aggressive. By the way, pay attention at the bloom. The bloom is insane with this tank. The bloom is definitely insane. Especially, look, whenever you just turn. Crazy, no? Just a little bit of the turn and the bloom goes brrr. Meanwhile, let's see, can we say hello for our brother from other mother? I try to pray him well, but hashtag never lucky. Even though I'm spotted, I do not really care about this, to be completely honest with you. We are just waiting for 3 seconds until we can shoot again and we will return to the same position. This position is super duper hyper turbo safe, fellas. And it is very, very easy to play here. All you need to do, you need to shoot and retreat. Quite simple, quite easy, and it will work just fine for this tank. I mean, I could potentially go over there, but what is happening in my head that enemies have plenty of the sniper schnitzels in the back. What that means? Well, that means whenever enemies will overpeak, and they will overpeak, right? Actually, whenever I would overpeak here, I would get F'd by the enemies. And enemies are just simply having better angles there, at least in my humble opinion, right? But once again, that's only me. Now, obviously, our team is taking one for the team, but that's okay. That's to be expected. We are going to be fine. And our IMBT is trading with Nemesis with alpha damage. Not the wisest choice, but yes. What can we do? It's okay. We got this, fellas. We got this. All we need to do, we need to be patient. I do not want to go super crazy where the involvement goes, but I want to be prepared if it would happen to be that someone would make a mistake and overpeak this, right? I am looking into the Nemesis for obvious reasons. I do not really think that I will love this tank, honestly. No DPM, not the most accurate gun in the world of tanks, right? At least alpha damages something. At least alpha damage is okay. We need to appreciate the small things whenever a tank doesn't have too many options to offer, right? Or too many things to offer, I suppose to say. We need to appreciate the small things like alpha damage. Yeah, I think this is not my vehicle to begin with, and I want to believe that this tank isn't going to be anything special or anything extraordinary. In other words, Chimera is definitely better than this vehicle is. This is how I feel. I mean, I can always spam the gold, right? I am always trying to avoid this. 225 millimeters of penetration isn't that unplayable, if you know what I mean. It is okay. But obviously gold would feel a bit better. Maybe gold would make this tank to feel like, the best tank in the world of tanks. What do you think about this? Soon we are going to figure this out, I guess. All I need to do, I need to support this IMBT to the best of our abilities. That's what I am trying to do right here. That's what I am trying to do. My goal, fellas, is not to allow those guys to make a hardcore pressure this way, because this is dangerous, this is risky, and this is not what we are looking for, right? It's okay. Let's try to slap Lansen and Nemesis. It is fine. Too bad we do not really have any more support here, right? So we are pretty much fighting 1-on-2 at the moment. This is okay. All we need to do, we need to slap the Lansen. My man, I have a bad feeling about this. And by saying I have a bad feeling about this, you are going to go to the garage, mate. I'm so sorry, there is nothing what you can do about this. Accept it, and straight to the garage we go. Yeah, it is going to be hard to win the fights with this tank if we are talking one-on-one and whatnot. If you are going to meet someone who has better DPM, or maybe we can, to a certain extent, compare this tank to the 1-2 TM, right? It has quite a bad, not quite bad, a horrible DPM. Like, the DPM of that tank is bleh. It is bad. You can probably think about this tank very, very similar way, like about that vehicle. But the difference is that tank armor, I'm talking about 1-2 TM, just simply feels better, it feels right. This vehicle armor, this vehicle gun handling, this vehicle doesn't feel so good, right? At least this is how I look into all of this. That being said, I have a feeling that it is going to be very, very, very brutal tank to play with. Even, I mean, for everyone, for new players or professional players, I cannot see why professional player would play with this vehicle compared to anything else, you know? But maybe that's only me, you know? And maybe I am just a bit too negative with the first impressions. Who knows? We will see. We will see, fellas. Okay, patience. All I want to see in this situation is enemies making tiny touch pressure here. I do not need too much. I just need a bit. I just need a bit. Also, what I noticed that I do not have a better ethical mod at this point, because there is no Mark of Excellence mod available here as well, right? Or Mark of Excellence percentage here. What that basically means, with reticle mod it would look tiny touch smaller, right? That means the shells would go somewhere towards the middle, not everywhere where it's visible now, but we'll see once again. We need some time to figure out how this vehicle feels like. Oh, wow. Couple of the bounces? Fellas. Fellas, look at this beauty. How about that? Fellas, enemies did not penetrate me couple of the times in a row. Can you imagine that? I mean, we have 2 artas. Unfortunately for us, those artas cannot help us, right? But that's okay. At this point, all I am looking at, I am looking into mistake from the guard side. Guard is eliminated. Excellent. Maybe talking dirty to the tank would make us to win this game. What do you think about that? That sounds good. Sue in the back, Sue in the back, Sue in the back, Sue in the back, Sue in the back. I saw that. Not much what I can change about this. Not much what I can change about this. Well, it's okay. Not a big deal, and it is completely fine. It is okay. By the way, our play over there was fine. We made sure that enemies would not make a pressure like this, and if they did, we are going to slaughter them. It is completely fine, fellas. We can't complain about this. I do not regret a single choice of this battle. Even some of the teammates can be, someone is camping in the 1-2 lane. You know, whenever you are getting flanked from there, it is not the most enjoyable experience either. Someone needs to do that, right? Anyways, okay, the second game felt tiny touch better, okay? Tiny touch better. I would not say, ooh, I love this tank, but it went a bit better. 3000 damage, 4 kills, 200 assisting damage, that's okay. We cannot complain about this, right? First by experience, ooh, 666 experience, I like it. First by the damage, 59,000 profits. I did not fire that much of the gold rounds either, right? Still, I don't think this tank is good. Let's go for third one. Okay. Round number 3, Oyster Bay standard battle. I kind of want to risk it for the biscuit. Skill, what do you mean? Risk it for the biscuit, like to make pressure like this. Do I? No. You know what? Let's play safer. I changed my mind in the middle of the thinking process. How about that? Instead of going super aggressively over there, we are going to make pressure like... we are going to take this position, and we will try to punish the light tank who is making pressure like this. Usually, there is a light tank who is considering his life choices to go into the standard bush. And now, as you can see, there is even light tank who is making pressure through the middle. Bad pre-aim from my side. That was kind of bad, but hey, what can you do? Meanwhile, we have the IS-3 ally who made the decision to go for a swim. I mean, you know, it's springtime, summertime, I get it. You just want to take a swim. What can we say? Not much what we can change about that, right? Yep, right. I mean, the bloom of this tank doesn't look great. I'm looking into this vehicle and I'm trying to figure out, is there something nice what I would appreciate of this tank, you know? And the more I look at this, more my eyes are going, my eyes are crossing like this, you know? This is how it feels to me to play with this vehicle. Yeah. Well, on the positive note, you don't need to buy this tank. On the negative note, if you got this tank from the loot box as well, unfortunate. I mean, you're not forced to play with it, right? That's something. I think most of the tanks which has a slow reload time like Chimera, right? But the big boy alpha damage. Chimera, 122 TM, whatever else we have, I think they are better than this tank, honestly speaking. I would say they are better than this tank. So what that means? Well, that means the tank isn't worth attention, right? This is what that means. And that's okay. That was close, honestly. That was lucky shot, and I should be super happy about this. And you know what? I am. How about that? I am happy. Good. What we could expect over there. Our Progetto is going to get slapped, and we may have a hardcore pressure from the enemy heavy tanks over there, right? At least this is how it feels like to me. That being said, maybe we could punish this Type 57 because he may get involved. Yes, he definitely gets involved here. Where should I shoot? Gold on. Not a great shot. Not a great shot for sure. I kind of want to join this position, but I will wait until Tornwagen will shoot. After Tornwagen shoots, I am going to take this position and I will try to get a decent enough angle to punish this gentleman. Yeah, hard angle. I mean, very, very hard angle. I don't like it. I do not like it. Tornwagen is in the perfect environment. I will let this guy to play. Simple as this, you know, I cannot add anything to this situation. So Tornwagen is playing with a big smile on his face and he's enjoying himself. That's good. What we can do instead, can we build a decent enough angle to punish someone making pressure like this? Yes, we can. Okay, this won't be easy, but it is definitely doable, right? Not easy, but definitely doable. I mean, picking up against that many guns isn't the wisest choice, but that's okay. All we need to do, we need to make sure that we are slapping them whenever they are moving up front. You see, and every single peek in this situation is we are peeking against way more guns over there. And if they would pre-aim here and wait until we are peeking, we can lose a lot of hit points. But that's okay. That is alright. Excellent. Very, very good. Type 57 is getting involved here. Not a greatest idea from this gentleman's side. That's unfortunate. This tank is losing so many critical hits, honestly. So far, from what I've seen, most of the shots that goes to this tank is some sort of critical hit. Either it's turret, either it's ammo rack, either it's engine, at least from what I noticed, and that sounds really, really, really bad, fellas. Also, I will say something what you would never see coming. Gold ammunition feels significantly better on this tank. That being said, I want to believe that where the ammunition goes, you need to spam the gold with this tank. At least this is how it feels like to me, right? Am I right? Well, it depends on the preferentials, right? This is how it looks like to me. I needed to work for this 2000 damage. That's not a good sign, fellas. And I'm trying to focus on the tank. I'm trying to think properly. And I am trying to do my best. I think this tank is a stinker, fellas. I think you need to spam the gold in order to be somehow competitive. The armor isn't the biggest selling point of this tank, but it's a medium tank, so it's to be expected. If you will find a tank which has better DPM, it's game over for you, because your armor won't stand unless you are playing hold down to the perfection, and even then you can take one for the team. I do not like it, fellas. I just want to be honest, you know? I was relatively negative against the AAT-60 or however that tank is called. But that tank is miles better than this vehicle with which we are playing now. It truly is. If the previous tank I talked about, AAT-60, is like 4 stars in the index, or at least I want to believe it is going to be the case, this one is 2. In the best case scenario. Anyways, 2.1 thousand damage, 4 kills, second class. We are third by experience, we are third by the damage. We made a bit of the profits, but most of the profits are coming from completing the mission, right? And overall, our performance today is 33% win ratio, 2.1 thousand damage, 700 assisting damage. I do not know what do you want me to say, you know? Sure, I could have selected better games, you know, but that's not the point. I do not want to make the tank look better than it actually is, you know? And obviously, the ratings of this tank will be updated probably today in the index together with AAT 60. The main reason why I do not want to rate the tanks after 3 games, because first impressions are not everything, right? So give me a bit of time and we are going to be fine. Anyways, fellas, thank you very much for watching. I think this tank is stinker. I do not really think it is a great vehicle, and I think it's just simply useless. At least those are the first impressions. Anyways, thank you very much and see you very, very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.